So here it is, the kayak. Here it is, where it is at the moment. This is the biggest. This is the biggest repair I'm going to have to do. This crack here. So we'll remove all these bits and bobs. See, there's a big piece I removed from this one here. In theory, you should drill a hole at the end of the crack and at the other end of the crack so that the crack doesn't go any further. But you see how we have to get rid of these loose bits. It might be okay to leave that just to give it an edge, just to give it a shape. That's a good repair someone's done. We could slap a bit on top of that to make it neater. Oh, there's another hole here, look. Okay, what's the difference between a kayak and a canoe? A canoe, you kneel in a canoe and you paddle with one hand. In a kayak, you sit inside and you use a two-handed paddle. But the main difference is the kneeling and the sitting. I think that's going to repair all right, that hole. You see how it wants to come away when it's bowed, it just wants to come away. And then when it gets to being flat again, it kind of doesn't want to come away. I think we may have some there, yeah. And the rest of it sits to being flat, kind of goes back to being flat all on its own voluntarily. So that's all looking quite good. Doesn't matter if the fibres come a bit loose. So that hole will fill out better now. The other thing about picking it away is you get a bigger repair, and a bigger repair is a better repair, really. You know, unless it's a tiny little hole or something, you don't really want tiny repairs. A tiny little hole could be good, but this crack, you see, where it's bowing away, that's because air and water is getting underneath in between the layers. So that's the reason to dig it out, so that we're getting away the layers that have started to come away from each other. So we can feel now that that's not coming away. That bit was. Yeah, all of that feels good now. So we'll repair that. We'll repair that as a bigger hole now. You know, it starts to look a lot worse before it looks better. So we'll do this crack. We will dig away. Look, do you see how the spiders have stretched in both directions from the crack? So we're going to do that crack. We're going to do the duo, the little one, the top edge and the front one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to do. The front end was repaired using epoxy and lining fabric, just satin and epoxy, quite a lot of layers, and then I went round and around and around it with cotton to hold it in place while it dried. Interesting, the bottom has stayed good. Where I painted it, the top has not stayed good. That cotton has stayed under, but we probably should paint again there. I'll get the cherry red and paint that. But I think the top part we remove, because as that comes off it might start to pull the bottom part away. So I would say we try and remove all this nonsense on the top. Look at it. We try and remove some of that, especially the loose stuff. And then we can just do a refill. If you've got enough P38, we can do a facelift of that. And then we'll fill the holes. Hold. ridge, hole, hole, scrape, hasp. Quite a lot of bits to fill, but it shouldn't take too much P38 because we're going in very, very shallow. And equally, if we can get enough nonsense off the front, I don't think it'll take too much P38 to get the front looking good. And then we need cherry red paint under the tip of that because that was very badly damaged underneath. Yeah, there's a serious hole under there that I fixed. The hole under there, that was the hole. But that looks okay, but it needs more paint on it. Right. So we've done all the preparation now. We've done some sanding. We've dug out all the horrors, done a bit of sanding. And we've pulled off most of the nonsense from the front. I think we'll go for a small overlap there. Look, some of it came away completely. So we'll overlap that if we can. But we haven't got a lot of filler, so we're going to do the best we can with what we've got. Okay, some of the filler went up a bit too quick, but it hardened so quick that I was filling it with bobbly filler, but I think it's managed. That's actually the big crack. That's the worst bit. I think it went deep enough. If it didn't, it didn't. This is how the filler should look. So that's what we've got there. We've done the whole front coming over, nipping over. When we sand that back, that's going to look alright. So the front end's pretty good. That back crack is possibly monstrous. That's alright, we'll just buy more filler and do it again some other time. But next we sand it down, and you see I've overfilled. You always overfill and sand back. And then I started there and it was gone off already. And then we mixed a second batch because we only used half. We used a second batch to do that front section. And by the time I went to the back with the sandpaper, the back was gone. There was nothing to fill. Oh, I missed a hole. Never mind. But we were having to work so fast. Oh, I'm annoyed I missed that hole. But we'll buy more P38, mix a tiny little bit up for that hole, that doesn't matter. I'm fairly pleased with that. We've got the major horrors done. I think in the sun it dries quicker actually, possibly, but I don't know. I couldn't read the instructions because they're so tiny for how much hardener to put in. I probably over hardened it. It's not a big deal. So here she is after her first coat of paint. There she is. After her first coat. Rust-Oleum. Looking nice. We've come down the sides a bit. I'm thinking of doing a red stripe around her. Or maybe a red hull and I don't know. Maybe a black hull and a red. I think a black hull and a red stripe, yeah. She's looking nice there. A few insects have bought the farm. We also just had a scooter come past, which didn't help. Covered in dust. But she's looking a lot better than she did. It's dusk and the paint is almost dry. We've come just a bit down, we're going to have a stripe. That's the bit I missed. I just didn't spot it because I was having to work so quick. Because the filler was drying so quick. But so that's the front, which you remember how horrid that was. So it's looking a lot better than it did. Just got that one thing to fix there. The rest of it's all looking good. And then we'll drop her in the water tomorrow. She can't be dropped in the water tonight because she's still a bit tacky. And you can see the original colour inside. I like this colour, it's nice. and we will have a stripe around it of some sort. I think I might paint the underside matte black, because I've got matte black paint, and then we'll have a red stripe around it, but I haven't quite decided yet. But that's it, that's the kayak. And also, one of the strings broke while I was pulling her, so that means that you have to replace them all. If one string breaks, you replace the whole lot, because string has an age to it. But look at that front, look how perfect that looks now. That's what it's going to be like coming towards you. It's a thing of beauty. A kayak that was given to me looking very disrepaired a couple of years ago, because it had that big damage under there that I repaired. That repair has held up. That's really held up, that repair. You can see the red paint I did on it. Some of it was coming away or coming apart a bit there, but we've fixed all of that now. So that's her now. She comes towards you like that. It's looking lovely. I never noticed before the little bumps for your knees. But there she is. She's matching the yellow stripe on the boat. So I used exactly the same paint so that she will match the boat now perfectly.